Hi friends, this is Caitlin from Caitlin Ailey Cards, and today I am joining you to share a sneak peek of the new Pawsome Stamps release that is coming out on May 17th. That's this coming Tuesday, and I get to share with you the Extra Scoop stamp set. So you can see this set comes with a ton of amazing sweet treat images, all different ice creams and popsicles, as well as some really amazing sentiments that help to pull any kind of summary or celebration card together. So I am going to be using 3 of these sweet little treats to create a celebration or a birthday card. I stamped 4 just because I wasn't sure if the popsicle would be better or this little cup of ice cream. I knew I wanted to use both of those ice cream cones. That swirly one down at the bottom is my personal favorite. But all of these images are super adorable. And so I got them stamped out in an alcohol safe ink because we're going to be doing some Copic coloring. But first I decided that I wanted to create a tone on tone pattern paper using the little individual cherry stamp that comes in this set. So that stamp can be obviously added to any of the little ice creams, but I just thought that it would make the cutest little subtle pattern paper for our background. So I am just using some watermark ink and I'm stamping that on a little acrylic block, and I'm just kind of spinning it around. I'm making sure that I am not stamping any directly lined up with any of the ones next to it or under it as I'm kind of working my way up the panel. I think that creating your own little pattern papers with one of the smaller images in a stamp set is a really fun way to kind of utilize all of your stamps and pull everything together, and it also kind of sets you apart. I'm starting out by coloring in my ice cream cones, and I decided to go with the E30s for these, but you could obviously use any brown shades that you have. I just wanted something a little on the warmer side, something that was a little bit more on those orangey yellows versus a very cool brown. And I'm just kind of creating a little bit of a highlight on those top areas on either side just to help give that appearance of a curved look. But I also didn't super overthink this. There's a good bit of detail in these, and so I just didn't want to take away from kind of the artist drawn lines that were there or make anything too muddy. So now I'm going in with my lightest marker just to fill in those little gaps of that lattice work that create those waffle cones. And I use the same shade for the popsicle stick just for nice continuity across all of my images. Now I'm going to go in and start shading my ice creams, and I decided to create a little bit of a rainbow effect. So my background has that kind of blue teal color. And so I'm using some corally pinky reds to shade in this little ice cream. I made it like a little strawberry ice cream cone. And then the popsicle is going to be in kind of orangey yellows. And then the other ice cream cone is going to kind of be a mint chip, kind of minty green. And I just thought that all those shades together kind of created a nice colorful rainbow feel without being so super literal. So the really fun thing about this set is obviously you could color theme these images to absolutely anything that you wanted, and you could easily customize these for your recipient. So if they are a super fan of any ice cream flavor in particular, you could really kind of make their day by making this something very unique to them. And I absolutely love any kind of stamp sets that allow you to do that for your recipient. Because as much as we love to create our art, the best part of card making as an art form is always sending it and spreading that joy to others. So I'm shading in my last little ice cream cone, kind of creating my own shadow just on that space in between the kind of ripples where that scoop would create an indent. And don't forget to go back in and shade in your sprinkles. I think that's just super fun and helps them to stand out. I also finished this off by going in with a white gel pen just to create some nice highlights. I just thought that it would help bring everything together and add kind of that glossy, melty finish to all of our sweet treats. I also think that adding a little bit of shimmer would be a fun way to jazz up these images, but today I decided to add my sparkle to my card in a different way, but we'll get to that soon. So the next step was to die cut out my images, so I'm just lining up my die cuts and holding them in place with some washi tape, and then I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine, and it creates the perfect little white border around all of my images. So I fell in love with the It's Your Birthday, Treat Yourself sentiment in this set, but it was just a little too small for my card panel, the layout that I was envisioning. So I grabbed the big version of this sentiment from one of the other new stamp sets that you'll be seeing soon. And it says the same thing, it's your birthday, treat yourself, but the font and the size of this one is just absolutely perfect for this card layout. So I'm going to stamp that down with some black ink just so that it's nice and bold and crisp, and it really helps to ground the whole card once all of my images are put in place. I absolutely love how easy it is to mix and match images from the different stamp sets this release. We are celebrating the Pawsome Stamps 1-year anniversary, and so all of the images are celebration or birthday themed, and I just can't wait to see what you guys make with them. So I'm just using a little bit of tape runner to adhere my panel down to a side folding A2 size card, which gives me a really nice white border all the way around. And then because I knew how I wanted to add my sparkle coming up, I decided to add my little images on with some foam tape. So I am using the outside of my image to line up with the outside of that bottom layer of my sentiment. So the ice cream is lined up with the outer part of that T, and then the other ice cream, I tried to line that last little scoop ridge up with the F at the bottom. And then I just used my popsicle to make sure that everything looks pretty even and symmetrical. And then I just put the popsicle as close to the middle as I could. And I made sure to cut a teeny tiny little sliver of foam for the popsicle stick so it doesn't get bent in transit. So once everything was placed down, it was time for my favorite part, which if you've seen any of my videos before, you know I love the Pawsome Stamp Sequin mixes. This new one is called Mint Chip, and it is absolutely perfect for this release. So we won't be using any of the black or gold today, but I just love how unique the mixes are this release. I've never seen mixes like these, and I think for shakers, they're absolutely gorgeous, but I just couldn't help myself. I grabbed these pink and blue and white iridescent sequins in all different sizes and just used them to tuck in under and around my ice creams. I played around with having some at the bottom, but I really liked how it looked having everything kind of floating up at the top. And once those were in place and glued down, I decided to finish out the inside of my card, which is something I am always trying to push myself to do. So I fell in love with the sentiment in this set. It says, "Get the extra scoop. Ice cream calories don't count on your birthday." How perfect is that? It's a message that everybody needs to hear on their birthday, I think. And then to tie in with that, I grabbed this little ice cream that has the triple scoop. I just thought that that fit so perfectly with this sentiment. And just to kind of make sure that the focus was on the words, I stamped my image in a teal color that was very similar to my front panel. So you get a little pop of color and something different, but it really lets you focus on that amazing sentiment. So I hope that your ice cream calories never count on your birthday, and I hope that you are very excited about this new release. Definitely go and check out the Pawsome Stamps blog and Instagram for even more sneak peeks coming your way, and we can't wait to share everything with you on May 17th. Thank you so much for being here, and happy crafting.